I'm making this video to talk about um, our tests, our unit tests that we have two of. One of them is coming up here this week, and the other one is at the end of class. And they cover chapters and the modules that we've covered up to this point. So let's talk about the particulars about the test. The test itself is 60 multiple choice questions. You have 72 minutes to answer them. That's a hard stop. Make sure that you have that full amount of time available to you when you take the test. You can't stop and then start up again. Okay. Um, it's open book, meaning you can go to the MyLab site and get to the text. You can look at your own notes. You can look at either on paper, or if you have them in a digital format, you can do that as well. Um, you are restricted from using your phone or other online devices, and this is all being proctored by HonorLock. Now, as you know, HonorLock is the service that Oakton has chosen to use to do online proctoring of online tests. You have to have set that up before you start the test, so it's really important that you get that taken care of. I try to do that so you get it done in the first week, but it doesn't really matter too much. You just have to do it. It is a condition to take the first test. Right. So the way you do that is to go into tests and look under test and take it there, and it'll walk you through the steps to sign up for HonorLock. Just a side note to that, HonorLock, when you sign up for it successfully, will put an extension into your Chrome browser, which begs the point that you need to use Chrome. Well, I don't care if you're using an Apple or if you're using a PC or whatever. You need to use Chrome to get at these various tests and D2L and all that stuff. It's just use Chrome. That's the only advice I can give you. I don't totally understand the restriction, but it doesn't really matter. That's how it works. When you sign up for HonorLock, you will get an extension put into your Chrome browser. By the way, don't worry about that. You can always eliminate it out of your Chrome browser very easily at the end of class. Now, if you have signed up your Google account, it is basically the same across any device that you log into. You should be fine to take the test in any computer that you want to use. However, if you have some restrictions that you put in there, now that's your choice, but if you put those restrictions in there, just know that you're going to probably want to take the test on a computer that you initially signed up for HonorLock on. Okay, so hopefully that's the computer you would use for the test itself. So just to be on the safe side, I would say use the computer that you've used when you signed up for HonorLock in the first place to take your future tests. All right, it just eliminates any of that confusion that's in there. All right. So once you've done that, you don't need a password or anything. You'll know that because you're signed up for it. It'll populate the password field. And if the password field's not populated, you know that you haven't successfully signed up for HonorLock. So you're gonna have to try that again. All right. So once you're in there, you're going to start the test up. Again, go to a place. First off, please don't do this on a phone or remote device. Do it on a computer. It is much greater chance of success because the tests are timed. And what that means is once you start taking the test, it's just going to keep, ticking away those minutes, whether you're there taking the test or not, or if you lose your connection or not. It doesn't really matter. So make sure you're on a very reliable connection and on a very good computer, and hopefully the one that you've used to install HonorLock and its extension. All right. So again, you got all those. You have the 60 multiple choice questions from all the material that we covered. Content is part of it. I tend to give you hints on content. If there's a video that might have a question or two on there, I tell you definitely watch this video, okay? If it's a video that's out there or content that's out there that is of general interest to the topic, and you have an interest in that topic, I probably suggest you watch those extra videos as well. Okay, but the ones that might be get tested on, it says watch it very clearly. Okay. Um, the way to take the test is pretty simple, is answer all the questions that you know first. You have the ability to do that, and then go back and look at the ones that you're not so sure about. And those are ones where you might use, the open book, going in and taking a look at the various chapters where the questions might be answered. So on that topic, you can't possibly, in the time period that you have for the test, look up every single answer. It's just not possible. Okay, so you're gonna have to go through and answer all the ones that you know the answer to, and that leaves you extra time then for the ones that you're not so sure about the answer, and you can go and look them up. If you've been taking notes, and I suggest it to many of you in your one-on-one meetings, take notes and put page numbers in the notes by particular concepts or ideas. And that way, if you are going to go look it up, you can know exactly what page number it's on, right? So it's that's your notes working for you. And of course, you can use the notes in the test. So go through and answer all the ones that you know, and then it gives you a little extra time to do the ones that you don't. It's a pretty rare occurrence that somebody runs out of time on the test. I've just my personal experience with it over teaching this class many, many times. That doesn't happen all that often. But having said that, it could. So just be prepared, at least be that level of prepared for it. All right. So what else can I say about the and then and then when you're done, it'll give you your score. It won't give you the answers because obviously you have to wait for a deadline for that to happen. If you are interested in reviewing any portion of the test or anything, if you want to go through the questions that you got wrong and you want to talk to me about it, we'll set up a time. We'll do it. So send me an email in D2L. Give me 3 times when you can meet, and we will meet in the virtual office and we will go over your test results. I'm happy to do that with you. So don't hesitate to do it if you're interested. So that's about it. And both tests are basically the same. So whatever advice I'm giving you now would be the same for the other test. Now, you might ask yourself, how do I prepare for the test? Well, there's a couple things you can do here, and I got a couple of suggestions. First off, if you've been reading the chapters and you've been taking the quizzes at the end of the chapters, that's a big step towards preparing for the test because the quiz questions at the end of the chapters are similar to the types of questions you're going to take on the test itself. So if you've done that, you've probably done a pretty good job to help yourself prepare. But if you want to be a little more thorough about it, what I suggest to you is go into your content and then look up your link here. Oops, sorry, picked the wrong choice. Here we go. Pick the link here, and you can go under something called your study plan. If you click on that, you'll open up in MyLab. You'll open up the study plan just gives you the opportunity to take basically practice quizzes, practice test questions. And if you want to go through that, it's time. I'm just fair warning, it's time consuming. But having said that, if you feel like this will make you more prepared for the test, I would strongly suggest that you do it. Okay. And if I go ahead and do that, I can see where I'm getting asked questions about the particular parts of the test. I mean, of the chapter itself. Okay. So, anyway, you've got the opportunity to do that. You'll have to start it up, but and I won't do that in this video. But you can see where you could do that as well. Now, I'm just going to give you one piece of advice on this. Is that I had a student who had been out of school for quite a number of years, and took the first test and did kind of poorly. And then I suggested they go through this process, which they did, and they took was basically a failing grade to a B on the very next test. So it's got some benefit, it's got some value. If you want to, again, if you want to do this, this is another thing you can do to help prepare yourself for the test. Just one last thing I'll say about it is an average adult learner has to see material on average 6 to 7 times before they can recall it, and just recite it off the top of their head. That's a lot, right? And you probably haven't read the chapter 6 or 7 times, and and we don't have lectures here to give you that benefit of that. But if you've been taking notes, that serves as additional exposure. And going back and kind of skimming through the chapters again, picking up the major concepts, taking notes, all add up those numbers of times that you've been exposed to the material, and that will really, really help you a lot when you think about how do I answer as many questions as I possibly can before um, um, I go back and start looking them up in the book. Right. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions at all, or you need a little extra help on this, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay. I'm happy to help students. I want you all to do as well as you possibly can, and that's my goal. So I'm going to help you do everything I can to make you help you be successful taking these tests. Okay? The better prepared you are, the less anxiety you'll feel. I guarantee it. Okay? All right, but don't hesitate to reach out to me. That concludes the video, and good luck on the test.